he's a legend, and he was so consistent. He was so strong and impossible to beat, especially on clay.
I call him he comes from another planet. That's why I thought.
And on the court, he wouldn't miss.
He was very steady. He was very eager to win every point, similar like Nadal does today. So he is a talent. He was very strong physical.
He is the friendliest guy on the earth. Everybody loves him. For me, maybe one of the best of all time.
The Marbella Masters takes place at the Puente Romano Tennis Club from the 25th to the 27th of August, featuring a host of former tennis greats like Pat Cash, the 1987 Wimbledon champion, Yevgeny Kafelnikov, former world number one and 2 times French Open champion, one of tennis's greatest exhibitionists, Mansour Bahrami, and one of tennis's true legends, Bjorn Borg. He won 11 Grand Slam titles, 101 professional titles in a relatively short career. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the show this afternoon Bjorn Borg. Thanks very much for talking to me on Talk Radio Europe Sports this afternoon.
Nice to be there. Thank you.
Bjorn, the Marbella Masters takes place at the Puente Romano Tennis Club from the 25th to the 27th of August. You will be taking part in that alongside the likes of Pat Cash, Mansour Bahrami, but you've got a pretty special affinity with the Puente Romano Tennis Club and Marbella. Tell us a little bit about your history with the Puente Romano Tennis Club.
Well, first of all, Marbella, it's always been a great place. I've been spending so much time there over the years. Started in the 70s. I had a commitment to Puente Romano for 5 years. That was like between, I think, 78 and 1982. And I had my old, Bjorn Borg tennis clinics at the hotel, and that was very successful over the years. After that, I spent many more years, many more times in Marbella and Puente Romano. I have a lot of friends down there. So that's why I'm really looking forward to come back down. I've not been there for a while now, but that's why it's gonna be a nice time for me and my family to come down, because it's like I said before, it's a nice place. You have everything down there, and at the same time now we're gonna play tennis at the Masters tournament down there. And over the years, it's been so many nice words from the players who's been competing in the event. They've always been talking very positive about the tournament. So that's why I'm happy to decide to come down and play this year. I think it's going to be a great event. I hope people who come and watch, I think they will have a good time and really enjoy the tennis. So I'm looking really forward to it.
We're certainly looking forward to having you down here as well, Bjorn. Now, just give the fans and the listeners out there a little bit of an idea what they can expect from a Masters tournament event like this. I know you're involved in the Champions Series over in the States, which is run by Jim Courier. You play against the likes of Agassi Sampras, Michael Chang, Jimmy Connors has agreed to join that tour as well, John McEnroe, some of the great tennis players. Now, a similar sort of event is going to be held in Marbella at the Masters that you'll be coming down for. This time it's going to be former world number one and 2 times French Open champion Yevgeny Kafelnikov, of course yourself, 87 Wimbledon winner Pat Cash, and Mansour Bahrami. What kind of thing can the fans expect to see from all of you guys?
Well, as you mentioned, the names who's going to compete in the tournament at the Puente Romano, it's great players. I mean, if you look at the records they have, they've been very successful in tennis. So what people expect is hopefully see good tennis. I know everybody is playing a lot of tennis, practicing a lot, playing a lot of different events all over the world. Everybody take it very seriously. Everybody wants to win. If you lose, it's not the end of the world, but everybody give 100% and wants to win. So, especially for me to compete against these guys, it's guys I never played against, so it's going to be fun to play matches against them for the first time. So that's going to be a very challenging thing for me. But I think in general, I think everybody's going to have a great time. People will enjoy the tennis, and like I said, I think it's very important for the players, because when you compete and play your matches or play your events all over the world. You want to be in good shape and you want to play good tennis, and that's what the group was playing, the players was playing in the Masters in Puente Romano. We all are in good shape, and we will hopefully play some great tennis.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see you guys in action at the tennis courts of the Puente Romano, Bjorn. Bjorn, you're one of the finest players that the sport has ever produced. There's a couple of questions I'd like to ask you about your career. I mean, you've got 11 Grand Slam titles to your name, 6 French Open, 5 Wimbledon. There's no US Open and certainly no Australian Open title on there. You only played in the Australian Open on one occasion in 1974. I mean, it's almost unheard of in today's world for top players not actually to play in any of the Grand Slams. What was the reason for you only taking part in the one Australian Open in 1974?
Well, the thing was like you said, today it's one of the popular tournaments. It's a Grand Slam. Everybody's going down. First Grand Slam tournament of the year. It's a very important tournament. During our time, the dates was different. It was during Christmas and New Year's Eve. So a lot of the players decided that it's a wrong date. We're going to stay home with the families, because then later in January, some other tournament started. So it was a completely wrong time of the year. And for many years, a lot of the best players never came down and played. But then finally they changed the date to start in January. And I think that was very positive for the Australian Open, for the people down there, that they brought down all the best players in the world. And during that time, I already retired or stepped away from the game. But I'm happy they did that, because if they had the dates like they have today, then I think they would have all the players coming down and play the Australian Open. So that's why I only played the Australian Open only one time, 1974. I wish, if you think like today, go back in time, I wish I could have played that tournament many, many more times.
Bjorn, the US Open coming from Flushing Meadows in New York, the 4th Grand Slam of the year. That's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. That's also a Grand Slam that's missing from your CV. Although you played in 4 finals, in 76 and 78, you lost to Jimmy Connors, and then 80 and 81, you lost to the great John McEnroe. What do you put it down to that you never managed to lift the US Open title? Do you think it might have had the hard courts that never suited your game?
No, I think it's just matter, if you compete to play in the Grand Slam tournaments, I think everything has to work together. I mean, it's a two-week tournament. You have to be a little bit lucky. You have to feel good. Everything has to come to the right place regarding game, regarding your tennis game, regarding everything is outside the stage or whatever. Like you said, I was in final 4 times. Maybe I could have won twice over 2 times of those 4 finals, but I did not. But going back, thinking back, I did everything what I should have done. I mean, regarding preparation, going into the US Open, playing tournaments before, practicing, all those things. There's nothing I can, just sit and think and say to myself, why didn't I do that? Because I did everything 100% what I was supposed to do. But you need a little bit luck too. It's the same when I played Wimbledon. I mean, a few matches, you need few points here and there to be a little bit lucky, and not to be saying that I was really unlucky, but I remember anyway 2 of those 4 finals. There was only like one or 2 points here and there, and but still, I never won. I tried. I gave 100%, and no more. I cannot say any more than that.
Bjorn, you were part of some of tennis's greatest matches and tennis history's greatest memories as well. And I mean, some for me, the 1977 Wimbledon final against Jimmy Connors, 1980 Wimbledon final, which is my personal favourite, against John McEnroe. Again in 1980 against John McEnroe, this time the US Open final, and a tremendous match in 1981 in the French Open final against Ivan Lendl. All of those went to 5 sets. You won all of those matches, some of the great moments in tennis. But it was was a very sad day for tennis fans around the world, and I'm sure very much for yourself as well, when you walked away from the game at a very young age, only 26 years old. What were the reasons, Bjorn, for you doing this, and do you have any regrets looking back at your career now for retiring so early?
Well, no, I have no regrets. When I took that decision when I was 25 or 26 years old, it felt good for me because, I've been very successful for many years in tennis and really enjoying tennis 100%. I mean, it came from my heart, and I had a great time year after year. I was very meant to win tournaments, to set up my goals every year, and practicing my 5-6 hours every day, and that was fun. It came a day, it came 1 year or a month or whatever, that I was starting to lose interest, starting to lose a little bit motivation when it came to tennis. It was not as fun as it used to be. And if it's not fun and you don't really enjoy something, it's very difficult to be successful in that particular sport. So then I lost that feeling, and then after a certain amount of time, I decided I'm going to step away from the game. I don't enjoy it anymore. I knew if I had maybe another, maybe 5 years in top tennis, I could maybe have, won more tournaments or maybe a few more Grand Slam, who knows. But I took the decision, and I never ever, up to this moment, regret that I took the decision. I was just pleased to stay out. I had a great time in tennis for so many years, and I stepped away from the game, and I tried other things in life, and no, I didn't really miss it. No, even if I was still following tennis once in a while, but I never played because I had enough. But I was following tennis like I do today, and I think even today, and for many years now, tennis means a lot. I mean, it's still part of my life. I still play a lot of tennis. I still play a lot on the senior tour and this kind of thing. So it's different. But during that time, when I was 25, 26, it was like I lost the motivation and that feeling for the game.
Bjorn, the men's game at the moment is in tremendous shape with 16 times Grand Slam winner Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic in unbelievable form this year. 9 tournament victories to his name, winning in Cincinnati only on the weekend. Only one loss so far in the French Open semi-finals to Roger Federer. Just get your opinion. I mean, Roger Federer has just turned 30 years old. Do you think he's got another Grand Slam in him? What do you think about Novak Djokovic's form at the moment? And who do you think is the greatest player out of Roger, Rafa and Novak at the moment?
Well, I mean, the greatest players ever up to this point is Roger Federer. But the great player today, who is the number one player, it's Djokovic. I mean, he's been playing tremendous tennis, unbelievable. So far, he only lost one match this year. He lost to Federer in French Open at the semifinals, and that was probably the best match Federer ever played on clay. And still, it was a very close match. But to see Djokovic, what he did today, and to see Rafa, what he's doing. I mean, I'm just happy to see these 3 guys, and even Murray is not far behind that, to see them at the top. I mean, with the rivalry in tennis, to have maybe 4 guys at the top with great matches. I mean, that's so great for tennis, and that's exactly what tennis needs. For instance, the rivalry in Nadal-Federer, so far I only missed one match. I've seen all the matches, because they produce the best tennis, and that's what everybody wants to see. But now Djokovic is up there, and he's the best player right now in the world, and he already proved that. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now everybody wants to beat Djokovic, and it's going to be interesting going up to the US Open in end of August, beginning of September. He's going to definitely be the favorite, but Federer is there, Nadal is there. Federer still has few more Grand Slam wins or tournaments inside him. He still play unbelievable tennis. Nadal is very hungry to come back and win more Grand Slams. And then the fourth guy there, Murray, I think he's waiting to win his first Grand Slam. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting and exciting year of tennis.
Bjorn, US Open beginning in Flushing Meadows in a week or so's time. Who's your winner for the tournament?
I have to pick Djokovic. I mean, it's the way he's been playing. Unbelievable tennis, and I think losing only one match so far, and still he's playing with so much confidence, and the whole game. I mean, he's lifted his games different levels, but it's so many other guys around there too. Like I said, but if you say pick one, I pick Djokovic.
I'd have to agree with you on that one, Bjorn. My heart says Roger Federer. My head certainly says Novak Djokovic. Bjorn Borg, it's been fantastic to have you on Talk Radio Europe Sports this afternoon. I can't wait to see you guys down here in action. It's going to be a marvellous weekend of tennis. Thanks once again for talking to me this afternoon on Talk Radio Europe Sports, Bjorn.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers, Bjorn.